Okay, let's get this show on the road. Let's get this show on the road. Enough fooling around here this morning. Geez, the guys from No BS just left. And I'm going to tell you. Oh, there we go. Okay, we got our radio guys here. The guys from No BS just left, and they gave me their fearless prediction for the World Series. Now, I know nothing about baseball. I don't follow baseball at all. I mean, I have no clue who's who. I know Toronto's got a team, and everybody's all up in the air and high in heaven about them because they made the World Series. But they're playing Los Angeles, and they said Los Angeles is going to sweep the Blue Jays. There's your experts, the boys of slumber, Dave Alexander, Pat Porter, and Billy Tellerico, the local self-proclaimed expert in baseball. They predicted a Los Angeles sweep. So there you go. If you're a baseball fan, guess what? There's your bet. And you're going to get good odds if you bet a sweep. I'll tell you that. Guaranteed. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, in the studios of 4680Q Radio, 4680Q.com. You can listen live every day at noon if you like. But if you miss the show, don't worry about it. We have the video going. We do a podcast, and it's put on by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you miss the show at noon, you can always tune in to the podcast right there. And no problem. Just do it. Just do it. And if you go to the podcast, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like. Leave a comment. I talk about a lot of controversial stuff on the show. Give me your comments. You might think I'm wacky. You might think I'm right. Either way, leave a comment. We'll talk about it on the show. That's the important thing, right? So this is show number 600. Today's the official day, show number 600. And Peter Dichter actually called me from Naples, Florida, and congratulated me on it. And I had him in here last Friday because he was leaving on Monday. He couldn't come in today. He's been here for show 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And he came in last Friday to celebrate 600. A lot of shows under my belt. Lots of work to do a show every day for an hour. But hey, here we are. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy being here, and I enjoy your comments. I thank you for tuning in and watching because, hey, that's what we do this for everybody to get involved, to get tuned in, to watch, and to participate if you feel like you would like to. Now, in that regard, I have this little old phony here. Yeah, I have this telephony right here. And the number on this telephony is 289-994-7560. And what can you do? Well, you can message me. Don't call, because I'm not going to answer it if you call. Text me. Text message me, and I'll even get a notification if you message me on Facebook for some reason. But yeah, text me if you have something to say, if you have a comment on what I'm saying. There it is. Now you have access. We never had that before because I use my phone to actually video the show. And that's 289-994-7560. Thank you so much for doing that. So, 600 shows. 600 shows. Unbelievable. What's next? Well, 601 tomorrow. That's the way it goes, right? We're going to keep on doing them until don't feel like doing it anymore, or I can't do it anymore. One or the other. I'm not getting any younger here. But, we're still going to be taking counsel to task, delivering my opinions on local, regional, provincial, Canadian, world news with commentary and opinion. And some people say, you should get me in there to debate you. And no, I don't debate people. This isn't high school. Maybe we should have a spelling bee on the show. How about that? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. But no, I don't do that stuff. It's my opinion. You agree with me, you don't agree with me. If you agree, let me know. Thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. Tell me why, and we'll discuss it. That's all. I don't debate. I'm not Charlie Kirk, thank goodness, because he's not around anymore. So I'm going to head to 1,000 shows. It's going to take me a while, probably about 3 more years, God willing. I'm here to do it. So anyway, I thank everybody. Pat Porter at the station, Rick Rose, who was originally the owner and got me going to do this way back when in the 2018 elections, actually when I started, and then we broke for COVID and came back. So here we go, and we got another election next year. So there you go. Weather. Woo, a little chilly on the willy this morning, 47 degrees at 5 a.m. Barometer stuck at 2,900, although I did see it go up to 2,905, which means some high pressure is making its way into the area. Low pressure, high humidity equals rain. So it might make 52 degrees today, and I think it has, to be honest with you, but that's about it. We're not getting much more than that. Not a great day to play pickleball. I don't think, anyway. On our $500,000 courts, yeah, I mean, we got $500,000 worth of courts out there sitting around. If you want to play, go find them. But you can always go to the taxpayer-owned courts under the Ghetto Dome, and you can pay $8 an hour to play if you can get a spot. I mean, we own the courts; they're ours, but we can't use them because somebody's controlling them other than us, the taxpayers. So you got to pay. Isn't that nice? Just love it. This is why you got to listen to the show, and we got to make sure that we put the people in there that don't do this kind of stuff. Charge us for using our own courts. Woohoo. Yeah. Oh, John Ringo Beam just dinged me on this phone. I saw it. I saw it. I can't believe I saw it. I can't read stuff that far without my glasses on. I can see up close. I just can't see. But he says, "What's that number?" Okay, Johnny, you got a pen and paper handy there. The number to text me at is 289-994-7560. Okay, there you go. Lucky I saw that pop up there. Doesn't affect the video, it just pops up. Okay, so we know the weather's getting colder. It's winter maintenance season. So why do I mention that? Because you got to take your car to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop so you get value for your hard-earned money. That's right. You make money and you spend it on maintaining your car. And the best way to maintain your car is the pay me now or pay me later. The best is the pay me now. Be proactive. Get your car into Ken. He's going to put your beloved automobile on his diagnostic equipment and give it the once over, making sure all your systems are go. Everything's working right, including the brakes, defroster, battery, heater. You don't want to break down in the winter. It's too miserable to break down in the winter, so you want those things all checked. Put your winter tires on, and you go see Ken Hunter at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop to be able to make sure your car is being taken care of properly. He also has a full body shop. You get in a wreck, you can get it fixed. He'll send it back to you in showroom condition. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership. How can you go wrong? Be proactive. Don't be reactive, or you're going to be reacting to a tow truck on the side of the road in a miserable day you don't want to have to deal with. And we thank you for supporting our sponsors. They support the city. They support the show. They're good corporate citizens. They deserve your business. Okay, two other sponsors are Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue and Hamel Machine Company. We'll get to them later on in the broadcast, but that's our three sponsors. Oh, and by the way, if you're looking to market your business, give me a call, 905-353-7560. You can text me on the other phone line I just gave. You can contact me on Facebook. You can Paul Lemire at Cogeco.ca. You can get a hold of me in 100 different ways. And I'll tell you about marketing your show, having me sit here every day and talk about your business. Guaranteed you're going to get business from it, and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. Look at this. John Ringo Beam already on the blower here. Got it. Thanks. Doge Niagara is the sponsor. Doge Niagara is my page with Gary Wilkins, really. Gary Wilkins is the guy. But they don't pay any money for that. Doge Niagara. The city should be having putting their marketing on this station. What the hell? We're a local station. We're City Hall. How about them doing a little bit of marketing with 4680Q and the Your City, Your Voice show? I don't know if they would be thrilled about that one. Now, I don't know about you, but it's a busy month, October. There's, I've had 3 or 4 birthdays going on of good friends. Kevin Mancuso, Breda Mancuso, Breda Pra Mancuso. Kevin's wife is October. Then we have my cousin Boosh. He's got a birthday this weekend. We're going to be celebrating 2 of those. Choppers was last week, so we got lots going on this month in October. Halloween, and of course, next Tuesday is the city council meeting. Monday we'll be doing the city council agenda with Dave Wheeler. The agenda should be posted any time now, to be honest. To be honest with you, and once it's posted, you can go in there and check it out, see what the agenda says, go through it. I'll be doing that, and we'll be taking a look at the agenda on Monday with Dave Wheeler coming in the studio for that. Now, tomorrow I have Al McKay from the Property Taxpayers Alliance coming in to talk a little bit about budget, regional budget, taxes, and an assortment of other things we're going to tackle tomorrow. Um, if you're not a member of or haven't joined Property Taxpayers Alliance page on Facebook, you should, because it has to do with your property taxes, how they affect the city, how they affect business, how they affect everything. And looking over city council meetings, there's only 4 more this year. That's it. 4 more council meetings. The one is on the 25th of November, which is going to be the capital budget meeting, which I can't wait to see. And we'll see if councilors actually go through the 192 pages. That's what it was last year, and come up with some recommendations for efficiencies. It really never happened last year. 1 or 2 of the councilors I actually talked about it and came up with recommendations. The rest just bypassed saying anything about 192 pages of expenses. You think somewhere they'd find something. Well, Lori Lococo did. Councilor Lococo always does. She's right in there. And she, I think it was that she had the grid for, or was it the operations budget? I'm not sure. But she always gets in there and sees where she can save taxpayers' money. Councilor Patel said to throw it back to the staff and tell them to reduce it. Yeah, that's a big deal. And Councilor, I think, Newest, they mentioned something about saving $50,000 of a $30 million budget for the fire department. I might as well here's a dime. Why bother? Not even relevant. Councilor Peter Angelo, I think he wanted to spend more money. He wanted to up it to take into account Phragmites. He didn't want to save money. He wanted to spend more on Phragmites. Now, I'm hoping Vince Cario comes up with something, Councilor Cario, only because the guy ran a $150 million business. I'm sure was worth that. And, if he was faced with a 6% revenue decrease this year, which, in the city council's case, it's a 6% increase in property taxes to cover the bills, I'm sure Vince would start looking for efficiencies rather than take the hit. So we're hoping our city council looks for efficiencies, and so we don't have to take the hit. Makes sense? Yes, it does. Of course, that's the way you want to do it. We'll see what happens. We got a month to wait before that meeting, and then we see who's interested, who's not. And I think you're going to see a few more councilors interested. And you know why? Because it's an election year in 2026. Elections do funny things to people. Yeah, they make them actually go through the numbers and know what they're talking about. Maybe, although they become pretty complacent. They know they're going to get elected again. So when you're complacent, you don't care. You just roll through. What do they call that? Go along to get along. I think that's what they call it. Anyway. Okay, here we go again. I promised I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I can't help it. It keeps popping up. So we got these mayors, they just do not want to lose the golden goose that we call one eyed bandits, the speed cameras. Damn one eyed bandits. Mayor Cisco from St. Catharines is chiming in saying they are the right investment for slowing traffic. Uh, no. They're the right investment to make money. They don't do anything for slowing traffic. This safety creature keeps raising its ugly head when it's not even there. It's a boogeyman they're using to grab your money. I don't know how many times I have to say it. There's no safety problem to address. It's the boogeyman. Ooh, safety. No, doesn't improve safety. And there are ways to improve safety without tapping your pocket. But you know what? Not interested in that. Speed cameras, speed cameras. Ching, 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 dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's all about the money, let's face it. And it keeps coming back up. If it wasn't about the money and it was about safety, instead of talking, they put big flashing lights and do all the stuff that Doug Ford said would work, that other people have said would work and have worked in the past. But no, they insist on spending money on these speed cameras because they'll make a lot more money than is ever spent. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. They want to tag already broke taxpayers from their insidious, is that a word? Insidious tax increases. But never mind, it's never a viable option when it doesn't involve grabbing money from the taxpayers, is it? Hey, a buck is a buck. Screw the taxpayers. Well, you know what? Here's to you. Your golden goose is gone. Doug Ford's wiping it out. It's over. The cash grab. Quit crying. Forget about it. And start looking for ways to calm traffic and slow it down if that's what you're really worried about without tapping taxpayers, unsuspecting taxpayers. Enough said. I wish I could say forever. For today. For today. Now, how about this? A no-brainer. The headline reads, St. Catharines MPP continues push for Ontario Steel in Garden City Skyway twinning. Does this MPP, whatever her name is, I didn't even write her name down, so irrelevant. Is this not part of Elbows Up? Why does this even have to be said by an MPP? Isn't it common sense that in Elbows Up, with all the tariffs and everything else, we would be using Canadian steel from plants that are 30 miles down the highway? What kind of geniuses do we elect that have to stand up and say this? We've gone through what? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, maybe 9 months, 8 or 9 months of Elbows Up. Screw Trump, screw everybody. Canada first. And somebody's got to stand up in there and say we should be buying the steel for the Skyway from Stelco and Dofasco? Are you kidding me? And this is, it gets stupider. Is that a word, stupider? I don't even know if it's a word. Every time I read the paper, I'm just astounded by the stupidity. Somebody's got to stand up and tell these idiots that are building the Skyway, the MTO or whoever is doing it, that they should be using Canadian steel. Are you kidding me? Come on. Get serious. Get serious. Up. John Ringo Beam says some of the steel is not made in Canada because of our long-standing trade with the U.S. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So let's get them going making steel. We're going to take every bit of steel that they can make in Hamilton. Of course. Why would anybody even think of doing anything else? 30 miles down the highway, we have two big steel plants that are looking for business. We're not buying from them? Come on. Of course, the word salad extended by a great Canadian, crab meat Sarkaria, said it will employ many local workers, but failed to give assurances that they would use local steel companies for the build. As a matter of fact, crab meat, I mean, it's crab meat. I had it down as crab meat. Now, I don't know if it's crab meat. It was one of those spell check things or correction, but it's crab meat. And his cronies has used foreign companies to design and build the thing. They're going to use them. So the thought of using foreign steel isn't out of the question. With the realm of possibility, there's such a bunch of hypocrites and two-faces. They'll sell out to the lowest bidder without regard for Ontario steel workers or designers. I mean, they're a joke. Come on, let's face it. It's a big joke. This is a big joke. I think John Ringo Beam just likes that. Look at also, it's not a thousands of jobs building it. They can't make it. All the workers are from GTA. Yeah, right. Thousands of jobs in Niagara. Yeah, well, crab meat. He's talking about his buddies up in Toronto. Anyway, I don't even know why this has to be said. I read it and I started laughing. Like, really? Do you have to really say this? After 9 months of elbows up, Canada first, screw this, screw that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, over to the police blotter. Oh, man, does it ever stop in Niagara Falls? Well, the guy that was wanted by the police turned himself in, the one guy, so unless they let him out as usual, he's off the streets. Still hundreds of criminals running around Niagara. Be aware, be vigilant, be safe. But speaking of crime, another body was found at Charles Daly Park, which seems to be a good place to be. You lose your life these days. And we saw the guy run over by his own car when the guy stole it and ran him over when he was trying to stop him. Body of a woman was found at Charles Daly Park. The news says human remains, but I think Toronto Star said it was a woman. Yeah, this is like kind of a daily event now in Niagara Falls. Seems it's happening every day. Drugs, shootings, stabbings, killings, human trafficking. What a cesspool. Enough said, it gets depressing talking about it every day with nothing being done as the police take their budget to almost $250 million. It doesn't make any sense, but here we are. And until those laws change, nothing's going to stop it. It's an epidemic. And we don't have the vaccine for it. And the vaccine, of course, is putting these guys away for a good long time so they can't come out in the street and do it again. Speaking of wacky criminals, have you ever heard of suicide by police? Now, I'm not saying that's what happened here, but the psycho that murdered a woman in Brampton, and now I find out it was a woman with 4 kids, and this was her ex, who she broke off with, wasn't his wife. Took a 1-year-old girl in Brampton after killing the mother, who had 3 other kids, by the way. Made his way to Niagara, dropped the girl off at Crystal Beach, was apprehended at the Gales Gas Bar on Thorold Stone Road at Montrose at 2:30 in the morning and quickly laid to rest by the NRP. He's not going to be doing that again. Impossible. Impossible. The child was located safe with family members, and a woman was arrested that was with the now dead man. And that woman has yet to be identified. We don't know who that is. I saw the guy's name. I'm not going to mention it. He's not worth mentioning on my show. The woman's in custody and charges are pending against her for aiding and abetting. A firearm was recovered at the scene that belonged to the dead guy. If he was waving that around at the police, yes, they fed him a late night snack of lead. Guaranteed. And they did, because he's a goner. Toronto Star reported the guy was the child's father, the little girl that he took. And we heard that Amber Alert around 5 o'clock or so. I know because it interrupted Archie Bunker. Nobody knows any more about it because they haven't released much more. He's scheduled to stand trial in March of 2026 on multiple charges in Brampton. So he was just another criminal wandering the streets. without being thrown in the slammer. I think he had a gun in that as well, in that charge. Known for gunplay, this guy. I mean, the politicians that make the laws are responsible here. They're responsible for anybody who's on the street after being charged with something like this. And I mean, whoever the guy is, the judges that let him out on the street again, I mean, why don't they get charged with aiding and abetting? These weak ass judges in courts, I mean, unbelievable. Leave a comment on the video. What do you think? What do you think? Should these judges be taken to task? Come on. They're letting these criminals out on the street to create more crime. Somebody's got to be held responsible. I mean, the guy is for sure. But still, he's out on the street. He shouldn't be. And maybe we will get some relief from that as we wander forward, as the liberals plan to introduce a bill to toughen bail and sentencing standards for violent crime in legislation today. Prime Minister Chili con Carne said last week the legislation would make bail more difficult to get for violent or organized crime offenses. That'd be nice. That'd be real nice. The bill would also allow for consecutive sentences instead of concurrent sentences. Yeah, keep them in longer. The longer the better, especially for violent and repeat offenders. Another good idea. So we'll see if this bunch of bleeding heart liberals can actually pass some good legislation for a change. I mean, to me, it doesn't go far enough. We need 3 strikes and you're out laws, as well as stand your ground laws. But I guess it'll be a miracle if this thing even passes, and it's a start. Got to start somewhere. Finally, after how many years? We're going to get some mess. They're going to get the message finally. Who knows? Who knows? We're dealing with entities that you have no idea how they think. They make the criminals victims, and the victims criminals. That's what they do right now. That's what was elected in this country. We're asking for a pretty big change from these clowns. Let me put it that way. Okay, now here's the question. Is the Niagara region and Niagara Falls becoming the crime capital of Canada? It certainly appears so, and we'll get to that in a minute after I get to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Now, when you get a pizza, what do you look for? Well, the number one I look for is consistency. I want the pizza to be good, and I want it to be consistently good. I know I can go back and get a good pizza. And the way to accomplish that is by having recipes that are not able to fail you. And that's what Pete's Pizza does on Victoria Avenue, using the Mancini family recipe for their sauce and crust. It's great all the time. Now, you take that with a little bit of expertise on how to put the right amount of cheese in the right ratio with the sauce on the crust, fresh toppings, you got yourself a winner. And because they do it consistently, it's consistently a winner. You can't get better than that. But they're not a one-trick pony. I mean, you want wings, they got good wings. You want, steak and cheese poutine, steak sandwich, chicken parm sandwich, panzerotti. They got a whole menu. And they're open till 2 in the morning on Friday and Saturday and till midnight during the week for your convenience. 2 locations to serve you now, Victoria Avenue and Thoroldstone Road at Kaler. Pete's Pizza, you can't miss. Get a pizza today. You know you want one. You know it. Just order it. 905-374-2222 or go to petespizzavictoria.ca and see all they have to offer. The full menus there. They use Dine, they use Skip, they use all the services. You can't go wrong. Get your pizza today. You know you want one. And you can eat it while you're watching the Habs play tonight. That's what I'll be doing. Okay, so thank you for supporting our sponsors. We really appreciate it. So back to the Niagara region, criminal capital of Canada. A woman's body found at Charles Daly Park. A guy stabbed in the back near Niagara Square. A body found behind a building on Main Street. A guy shot and killed by police on Thoroldstone Road. And that's just in the last few days. We're racking them up here as crime capital. I mean, really, what has this region become? Well, it looks like a bastion for homeless mental cases, drug addicts, criminal gypsies, and illegal aliens. I mean, welcome to Niagara. You can thrive in the region if you're like to steal chains and bust into jewelry stores and do drugs and everything. I mean, this is a great place. Police, well, they may hassle you, but don't pay attention to them. They're going to hassle you maybe for a little bit, but yeah, don't pay attention. Nobody else does. Why should you? I mean, if you're a honest, hardworking taxpayer, yeah, you have to worry about the police. But yeah, you're a bum on the street, mental case, crime, criminal, not so much. You don't have to worry about the courts and judges. We already talked about that. But to me, you think the mayor would be up on his hind legs, yelling and screaming about this? Yeah, it gives you a little bit of lip service. Oh, crime bad, crime bad. But we don't see him really going crazy. I mean, you think he would be going crazy. This is his city. He's the mayor. We don't hear a lot. I mean, you think he'd be screaming at Queen's Park to do something, but no, no. There's another shawarma hut to open up, another bouncy castle to jump around in, another video shoot at CHCH. I mean, this is James World. I don't get it. Leave comments on the YouTube video. What do you think should be going on here? Should our mayor be up in arms about it? I think he should. I think he's the leader of this city, and if he's not talking up, and I mean really talking, not this lip service we hear, getting mad, telling him I'm mad as hell and I'm not taking it anymore. Until you hear that, it's just another thing in Niagara Falls, I guess. Part of the circus we call the Falls. I guess. I don't know. uh, John Ringo Beam, it's crab meat. He says the guy's name is crab meat. I don't know. That's what he said here. Okay, let's get over to the Carneys. The Carneys, Chili Con Carney government. It's worried that his budget won't pass, which could trigger another election. And I say, bravo! It can't come soon enough. Please, please, me. Oh yeah. This chili con carne has got to go, but unfortunately, Canadians gave him a near majority, so that means all he has to do is buy a few votes in Quebec, and he's golden. You don't have to worry about it. I'm predicting that this budget will pass. Carney isn't going anywhere. And I really believe that an election would just put him back in the driver's seat anyway. This is the demographics of Canada have changed. They've changed. It's not the Canada we used to know. And for all these migrants, offshore people that were brought in by the Liberals, given free money, hired for government jobs, you think they're going to vote against their golden goose? No. No. I mean, we saw 10 years of abuse by Trudeau. Scandal after scandal, blackface, Lavalin. His buddy's getting the contract for that program, Arrive Can. It's never ended, and he got elected 10 years, 3 times he got elected, and then what do they do after this? They come right back and almost give the Liberals another majority. Do you think anybody's throwing them out? No. No. And even if they do, say by some weird thing, there's a non-confidence vote and they have an election. Do you think Pierre Poilievre can win? I don't know. He had a shot. He couldn't even win his own riding. He had to steal a riding from Alberta, northern Alberta somewhere to get in a conservative bastion that's been an overwhelming 80% vote. So he had a chance. Somebody stepped down for him. And I just don't think that a leader like Trump plays in Canada. It's impossible. Americans are waking up. They're waking up there. But here we have socialism basically, and we have Sharia law in some place. I mean, come on, the Toronto mayor named part of Toronto Little Iran. Do we need to say anything more? These socialist liberal NDPs, they're the ones that these people vote for. The reality in Canada we're facing today is we've been invaded, being taken over. There's nothing we can do about it. And a Trump like person who would get in here and start deporting people and cracking down on the law and rebuilding Canada with a Canada first attitude, it can't happen in Canada. I don't believe it can happen in Canada. We don't have that demographic in Canada that are willing to be patriotic and understand Canada first. And that's why we see our government giving money away to every country except Canada. Can't make a deal with the US. Things are going downhill fast, buying submarines all over the world. Don't build them ourselves. I mean, it's been coming since the 1960s when the first Trudeau took over, and we've arrived. This is it. And if you think Carney was elected, he was probably selected. He was put in place to liquidate Canada. Carney says he has a mandate. And thanks to Canadians giving him a near majority, he probably just about does. Now, Poilievre says he's going to meet with Carney to discuss the budget and urge the Liberals to keep the federal deficit under $42 billion. That's a joke. Are you kidding me? These guys are tax and spend criminals. Carney gives $42 billion away to other countries before he even gets started. He's got us to $2 trillion in debt almost. I mean, he's going to keep adding to the deficit. He isn't going to settle the deficit or come in and balance the budget. He's not going to do that. And he's spending $24 billion on submarines and $80 billion on planes. How is that going to work against $42 million? Keep the deficit under 40. My cousin says. Now, the Bloc are the beauties. They have a list of 18 demands, 6 of which they are calling non-negotiable. And they know these demands are not possible, but it doesn't matter. They have the leverage to bring down the government, and we know Carney folds like a cheap tent, folds like a Temu suit when the pressure's on. So, we've seen this act with Trump. Tough guy Carney. We've seen how he is. When the pressure's on, he folds like a cheap suit, bought right off Temu. And he's going to buy their support with concessions. He'll give them what they want. It's a done deal. Of course, it's about more transfer payments to Quebec. They love transfer payments. They love transfer payments. As long as you give it to them, they'll stay in line and vote with you. Sure they will. Why not? I would too. It only makes sense. See what I did there? Sense. Not sense. 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 Okay, so that's that. That's that. The NDP have virtually no say. But guess what? They have just enough to turn the tide and trigger an election, but Carney's going to give them whatever they need. Little handout. A few short strokes to get them to go with them. What a mess this country's in. Stay tuned. We can only hope at this point that it all works out in our favor and an election is called. And then we got to decide are we going to be able to vote conservative in? I don't know. And speaking of this, it looks like an election is imminent. From what I've heard, they are going to bring down this government. They are going to go for an election. Are they? I don't know. Seems like it, but who knows? Who really knows? Oh well. Oh well. Another great story out of Canada. Exxon is cutting 2,000 jobs in Canada, citing way too much regulation to actually make money. When the government are a bunch of climate change goofballs and they continue to punish oil and gas companies, making their life more difficult to stay in Canada, the companies say enough is enough. Head to greener pastures, which in this case is the good old USA. Good old US of A. Let's go there where everybody's friendly and they're willing to work with us. No pipelines allowed, climate change lunacy, wanting a complete push to EVs by 2035. Yeah, why would I stay in Canada as an oil company? Where's the future in Canada for Exxon? Or any other oil and gas producer for that matter? I mean, yes, I can see. And Exxon isn't just restructuring like Stellantis told us they were doing. Oh, we're going to shut the plant down for a couple months, so we're going to restructure. Nah, they're not restructuring anything. They're planning. They're planning. And they're going to leave. It's an exodus. It's going to happen over the next 2 years. And like Polyev, they won't be back. Elbows up, everyone. Canada used to be energy dominant. We were it. We were it. The Liberals with their climate change and carbon taxes have ruined all that and decimated the industry. The Exxon exodus has begun and will spread. You cannot legislate yourself into prosperity. Trump knows that and has taken full advantage of Canadian industries, dropping legislation and giving them the opportunity to function and make money. Exxon and Stellantis are not just contracting in the U.S; they are expanding. Yeah, they're not just going there; they're expanding to the tune of thousands of jobs and billions of dollars invested in the U.S. Canada just don't get it. We just don't get it. We're sticking to the climate change hoax, hammering everybody with carbon taxes, all businesses, all industries, even though we're one of the lowest carbon emitters in the world. And our prime minister, of course, is a hypocrite because he jumps on his plane and does a tour of Europe and Asia and all over the world with his polluting jet plane, while telling us we have to pay clean air tax. Yeah, he's charging us for air now. Clean air tax. Clean air tax. Canada just don't get it. They really don't. They don't. They're really worried more about illegals and becoming a little Iran than in helping any businesses. I mean, shawarma huts are the business. The demise of Canada is fait accompli. Sit back, watch it fall. Unfortunately, I'll be dead before it really does fall, but maybe not. It's going down pretty fast. Titanic, they figured the Titanic itself was a lifeboat. It went down in 2 hours. So there you go. Now, speaking of mass exodus, now we hear the CAMI plant, part of GM in Ingersoll, is calling it quits, throwing 1,000 more people out of work. First Stellantis, now GM. They made electric vans there. The Bright Drop electric vans. Oh, how nice. Well, that's over. GM halts production. And they're moving to the States. They're moving everything to the States. They're getting out of Ingersoll. And then we can add to this a heavy truck plant. I think they build Peterbilt's trucks in Quebec. They're moving and laying off 300 people in Quebec for good. That's it. They're done. They're going to the U.S. Mass exodus is happening as we watch Mark Carney pull his magic because he was the only one that could deal with Trump. The only one. Vote for me. I'm the only guy who can deal with a bully like Trump. I'm going in there, elbows up. Oh, look, Mr. Trump, I'm wearing a red tie in your honor. Oh, yes, Mr. Trump. Oh, the Blue Jays are going to win the World Series. Yeah? Get out of here. You whack jobs. Speaking of Canada, we're now officially following the lead of the UK in its final chapter. Diversity has not been our strength like they were promised us. Diversity is our strength. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. The liberals keep telling you that, but no, diversity is not our strength. It's not the strength to any country. What diversity has done is changed the face of the UK and Canada, literally. It made it a series of economic ghettos where third world country immigrants are controlling the country, creating a socially and culturally fractured entity with daily violence on the streets, much like the countries they came from. And you see that in Britain right now. It's a big mess. They're fighting like crazy. The fight spilled over into Ireland. They're fighting like crazy. Instead of the UK insisting they bring the best of their countries to the UK, they allowed the worst of their countries in with open borders, and now they're seeing the results. These people use the very freedoms the UK enjoyed against the UK. Something that they couldn't do in their own countries, of course. Come over here for freedoms, then use them against the country that let them in. Sound familiar, Canada? Oh, yeah. Now, the UK wants to cancel the elections because the Conservative Party has a good chance of getting elected and possibly doing what should have been done in the first place. What we were seeing under Trump. Even if they close the borders to immigrants now, the damage is already done, as close to 2 generations are in the UK as citizens and have totally taken over. They're changing the laws to make it illegal to question them and their religion, and that basically shuts the conservatives down, as the judicial system will always favor the violent invaders. Man, sound like Canada? So we can see right here, this is our crystal ball. We can see what's going to happen. That is the path Canada is taking, and we see it. Path to a third world ghetto with no way to stop it. Talk against the invaders, you're hit with hate speech and possible jail time. Even if you do it on social media, and there's these bills that they want to be passed regarding digital stuff and social media and hate speech and everything. I don't know all the bill numbers. Peter Dichter was telling me about them. I didn't know anything about them, but he mentioned them, and he's on the money with these things. Maybe we'll ask Alan McKay tomorrow when he comes in, Property Taxpayers Alliance. He may know more about it. But it's happening. It's happening. And the only thing that Canada has going for it that the UK doesn't is that we are close to the United States, who is taking a different direction on all this. American first, not invaders first. Any crap out of Canada, and Trump will seal the border without hesitation. He's already leery of Canadians. Too many terrorists for Canada. Too many terrorists with the ability to get into the United States. He doesn't like that. And the UK doesn't have a country like the US protecting their citizens, because they're all like that in Europe. Now you get a little bit further with Poland and places like that. They've said, no, you're not coming in. Japan's taking a place to get rid of all these immigrants, getting rid of them all. So, I mean, there are countries that won't let them in, and they're the ones that are fine. They don't have any problems. No uprisings, no riots, nothing. There's something to be said. Diversity is not a strength. It's not a strength unless you get the right people in. It becomes a detraction. It becomes dangerous. So hopefully Canada learns, but we're not gonna. It's already happened here. We're too far in. We're too far deep. In deep. How about that? That name? John. John Ringo Beam. Isn't that a name? In deep. Okay, so has anybody else been following this Charlie Kirk thing? I have, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute after I get to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. And you know, whenever you look at a city to move your industry to, your business to, you got a business that's producing things. You want to make sure there's a good machine shop there, because if you break down, you need help. You want to make sure there's somewhere close by you can take whatever the problem is and have it remedied. And that's what Hamel Machine's been doing in Niagara Falls for industry, big or small, since 1948. And you know, time is money when production shuts down because of equipment failure. It costs money, lost revenue. So you have to call up Hamel Machine Company and say, Bob, can you help me out here? Hey, Bob goes over there with his technicians. They're all trained. They know what they're doing. They're skilled, very skilled at what they do. Looks at it and says, yeah, we can fix that. Or we can reverse engineer that with our 3D printer or our water jet cutter. We can cut it out. We can pattern it. We can design it. We can make it better. How about that? They make it better. Why? Because more production means more revenue. They make it better. They're innovators. And they've done it for the wine industry, the food industry, the agricultural product industry, to the point where these innovations are now being shipped all over the world for those industries. Simply amazing. Right here in Niagara Falls, over here. I can throw a baseball and hit their building on Bridge Street over here. They have another one on Kent Avenue. If you really want to see the tremendous work that Hamel does, go to hamelmachine.ca and check it out. It'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind what they do right here since 1948 in Niagara Falls, Ontario. And they can also help you. If you have a problem with one of your machines, your snowblower, your lawnmower, if you have any problems with anything like that, if you need something designed, fabricated, they can do it. They can do it. Right down to gates for your backyard if you want a nice set of gates. Yep, they can do it. No problem. Just got to go see Bob Benner at Hamel Machine right over here, Bridge Street. And go to their website to see exactly what they do. It will amaze you if you just visit the website for a second. Support our sponsors. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you if you do go over there. And they're great corporate citizens, good people. They're going to help you out. And they've been doing that for people in Niagara Falls since 1948. How can you beat that? So this Charlie Kirk thing, I mean, this is getting to be the JFK of our century. This is really wild. Very, very crazy. Now, um, one thing I know, and we saw it all play out on television, is that kid who's being accused of shooting him, I don't think he was the guy who killed him. I don't think he shot and killed Charlie Kirk from that roof using that gun with a 30-06 round. The whole story stinks. Read a story titled 47 Minutes of Silence that details the events after Charlie got shot, with his body being removed from the scene and nobody knowing where that vehicle went. All the GPS data from the car that carried Kirk went completely dark. No tracking, no signals, no verified stops, no explanation. A newly surfaced witness hints at a secret detour, one that was never mentioned in any official report and couldn't be tracked. What happened during those 47 missing minutes? Who knows? And this is only one mystery that surrounds this alleged assassination. You know, and the number 47, 47 minutes, Trump's the 47th president. Pretty weird. Also, a story came out that about that microphone that he was wearing at his appearance. And right there, it seemed his shirt went like this. Boom. If you watch the video. Now, I heard from somebody about this microphone he had right here. You could see it. And then there was a spot in his neck here where he got shot. Do you remember September 17th and 18th, 2024? Do you remember what happened? And no, it wasn't the first time you met up with Sally. No, that was the day that pagers and walkie-talkies began exploding in Lebanon and Syria. Remember that? These things were blowing up in their hands and killing them. Now, somebody said that same technology was used in that microphone. And there was a guy standing in the crowd pressing a button. And right after he made that move, Charlie's shirt went up like this, and something caught him in the neck. And that Tyler Robinson kid who did it, he's saying he never fired a shot. Now, these handheld pagers and walkie-talkies were all manufactured in Taiwan or somewhere that had been infiltrated by Mossad and rigged to blow up whenever they decided they wanted to set them off. And they're saying that same technology was used in that microphone that Charlie Kirk had on, and that's what killed him. It was all set up. Now, also, Charlie had been changing his mind about the war in Gaza and was critical of Israel, the Israelis killing so many people. And Candace Owens, who's uncovered a lot of facts about Charlie, actually expressed to others that people were going to kill him. Charlie actually expressed to others that people were going to kill him before he got killed, of course, and couldn't say it after. She also says that there was money being misappropriated in the Turning Point USA Foundation and that certain people wanted him dead before he uncovered it. She said that his wife knows who the people are and that Charlie was betrayed by a lot of people. So the story gets goofier as the days go on, right down to the question, is he really dead? Somebody said he's not even dead. I mean, it's, Elvis, it's the Elvis stuff, right? It's all bizarre, but one thing is certain, what we saw on TV probably was not the way it went down. I didn't believe it then. I'm more certain now. I'm pretty sure he's dead. I'm pretty sure he's dead, but I can't wrap my head around the way it happened. I don't believe that's the way that it did happen. I don't believe it. Some reason. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm just looking here because I heard a ding and I thought, maybe somebody's trying to message me here. I don't see any messages. So we're gonna have to watch this real close. Nothing adds up to me. It's just truly bizarre the way it all went down, and I can't even figure out why the FBI was there. This wasn't a FBI case. It was a local murder. That's all it was, really, when you get down to it. I know it was a famous person, but it was a murder. Somebody got shot. So what the FBI doing there? It's all pretty weird. It's all pretty weird. Check it out. Go on to YouTube. Check it out. There's so many different stories about it. It's pretty interesting, and I'm going to be searching this down. I'm going to be watching this. Oh, how about this? American truckers are seeing an increase in their wages after Trump's crackdown on illegal immigrant drivers. I mean, putting America first is starting to pay off for everybody. All Americans, lower food prices, gas prices heading sub $2 in some places. America's on the mend, and it seems what Trump is doing is working. Are you listening, Canada? Are you listening? And while we're on the subject of Trump, do you think Americans are angry with Trump over the Schumer shutdown? I think they're mad at Trump because the government shut down. People aren't getting paychecks. Well, you can think again on that one because in 2018, when the Democrats in Rhino shut the government down, Trump's approval rating dropped by 3 points. Now, the shutdown by the Democrats has improved Trump's rating by 1 point. So Americans are really starting to wake up to the fact that the radical left-wing Democrats are the cause of America's problems, and they're putting the blame on them. They're putting the blame where it belongs. Shut down Schumer is afraid of these AOC types that have taken over the party, and real Democrats are leaving. It's not their party anymore. Even the old guard like Schumer are afraid of these new radical left-wing Democrats. So the government's shut down for 23 days now, and people are starting to feel the effect of it now. They're not getting paychecks. They're not getting welfare checks. And these people on welfare are yelling and screaming, saying that the government owes them money. It's their right for the government to take care of them and their kids. Maybe you should go and get a job for a change. Wouldn't that work good too? So Trump is moving in. He's moving in. Ninth Circuit Court said he could bring out the National Guard. So Kristi Noem and President Trump are saying the next city to get the National Guard treatment is going to be the defecation-infested San Francisco, the only city where city streets are considered bathrooms. San Francisco Attorney General says no. The National Guard will not be allowed in the city. That local police will arrest any ICE or National Guard agents that enter the feces-lined streets. Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. I can't even imagine why anybody, this Pritzker guy, Johnson in Chicago, these two guys in Chicago, and that would be against somebody coming in and cleaning out criminal gangs and murderers. I don't understand how they can be against that, but they are. They're mental cases. I told you. That's why. As far as Portland goes, he's sending him in there too because he got the okay. He's going to clean it up, help deal with crime. He has the discretion to send the National Guard in anywhere he sees fit and the circumstances surrounding deployment warrant it. So there you go. And he can do that with every city because there's federal buildings. They have to be protected. ICE agents are in there cleaning out the illegals. They're getting attacked and they're being threatened. They're saying the ICE agents come in here, they got guns. Well, guess what? They're not the only ones with guns. And that was from a teacher in LA. You think they're not trying to start a civil war? Think again. That's what they want. I don't know if they're going to get a chance because Trump might just clean them all out before they get a chance to do something like that. Anyway, that's it for me today. I'm done. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, John Ringo Beam, for your excellent texts. And anybody else who wants to text, please feel free to text. I mean, I'm always watching this thing now that I've got it. I mean, might as well, right? What the heck? That's what I got it for. So let's let's see if we get a bunch of texts. And I don't think there's any on Facebook. If there is, I'll let you know right now. I'm gonna look at it. And John asked, what was that number? No more things. So we're out of here. That's it. Now, tomorrow, Al McKay is coming in from the Property Taxpayers Alliance. He's coming in, and we're going to be discussing a lot of things about taxes and budgets, the region, the cities, what's going on with them as far as budget goes. Probably we'll get into provincial and federal politics as well. He's well-versed. Al McKay, thanks so much for coming in. We'll see him tomorrow here at noon. And then Monday, of course, the City Council Agenda Review with Dave Wheeler. And then we run through the rest of the week as usual. There's nothing else to say except God bless you all. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you from the studios of 4680Q in downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And like I say, take the number down, 289-994-7560 if you want to text during the show. I'm out of here. Don't forget to support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, Hamill Machine Company. They're great companies. Support them. We'll see you tomorrow with Al McKay at noon. Promises made, promises kept. I'm out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody, and thank you so much. I really appreciate you tuning into the show. And hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment so we can talk about it. What more can I tell you? Have a great day. See you later. The video will be on YouTube at 3 p.m. for those listening on the radio if you want to watch it live. Take care.